it's monthly or quarterly. And what I was hoping that we could get was a quarterly report as to how are we with the organizations that receive, where are they with their receipts? So we can be informed as to how we are doing with, how they are doing with the funds dispersed. And then it says, to the best of my knowledge and belief, all done in this application is true and correct. But yet it wasn't. And so, name of authorized representative and signature of authorized representative. When we find those to not be correct, then we would have to disqualify them. That should be a disqualification action. Are you all in agreement with that?
Yeah, I am in agreement with that. I was looking at something else right here.
Oh.
I just saw something else as well.
Okay, so even though they sign, I mean,
Doesn't make sense, right?
we're notaries
it does,
and
'cause
we're
I
very
think
careful
that's
when
me.
somebody signs something because you're gonna be held accountable for that. So they're saying that it was true, and yet, in addition to this page was not matching some of
I
the
see what you mean.
information in another page, but we'll go to that in a minute. Okay. Are we gonna continue on page 3, the application, or are we still on 1
Well,
and 2?
I was looking at the guidelines of, on page 1, general
Okay.
fund guidelines at the bottom, the match hour
Yeah.
request
Mhm.
requirement. It just, maybe I'm not the best at math here, but does that equal, so it says, for every $1,000 in funding, the organization must contribute 10 volunteer hours, and then it says it's valued at $25 per hour.
Mhm.
That is a
off, right?
typo, it's the
That's off, right?
$100.
Okay, let's make
It's
sure.
what?
It's $100 per hour.
Okay, I thought we were told it was 25 though.
It's $25 per hour whenever they're doing the waiver requirement.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
the
it was
waiving
when they're
fee.
doing the waiver.
Correct, and when it comes to third-party funding, it's $100 per hour under general fund.
Okay. So there's a difference.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know, well, before we go on to the next page, I don't know if we wanna just add on the first page where it says also please include the following board of director roster.
So sorry, oh my gosh.
If we wanna put current board of director.
What was that?
On the checklist, the instruction of the
Mhm.
board of directors roster, page 12 is current.
I mean, you would think that that's an obvious thing,
Exactly.
right?
It's a duh.
Yes.
One of them was not even in this world
I-
anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that was not right. So, yeah, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to turn this off.
Okay, and then the annual report of how loud, okay. Okay, the IRS form 990, most recently filed, okay.
was not
Should
that.
we clarify that language, because most recently could be for
From
some
past year.
organization.
I would
Okay.
say from previous year only, not previous years.
Okay, so, previous year.
We could say current year or extension
Right, 'cause
for the
it-
current year.
Right.
Oh, okay,
Right,
but then
right.
they're not gonna give us any information,
And then in parentheses, provide last year's.
2024.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about that, but we got 22s and 23s.
Yep, I did see that.
So I thought, we're gonna do that, we're not gonna get anything. But, I mean, what do y'all think? I think that would be a little bit too much, asking a little bit too hard to provide us with 2025, when the filing date is in April, and most of them, as from what I saw, asked for
Since
extensions.
it's October.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So at
No, what?
previous year.
Previous year. Mm-hmm. Anything else on the first page? I haven't escaped. On the following page, general fund use guidelines, we went over that. And we said for the match hour requirement, that was a correction, instead of
Yeah,
25,
there
it's
should be.
100.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that monitored? There's no problem with that? You two get the responses?
So that is
Okay.
barely starting to be implemented this coming October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that is a new part of the new policy that we have.
And how did that number, $100 per hour, get decided? I mean, I think that's very generous.
So most federal grants require, well, at least with the ones that we manage, a dollar for dollar match.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking that management was kind of like going back and forth as to what is actual reality for these organizations. And the volunteer mechanism is the organizations are to volunteer with the city,
Right.
city events and all that stuff. So as to how he got to that number, how did council approve that specific number, we wouldn't have that information.
You know, that's a very good question.
I mean, because it's very generous.
It's,
$100
I
an
just
hour.
thought that was the standard, but now that you're explaining it, I don't think I've ever seen $100 per hour.
But they can always tweak it. They can say instead of the $1,000 a 1,000 hour, they can tweak it down to maybe
Is this for the general
200.
fund, for
This
both?
is for general?
Just
Well,
That is general.
Just
just general.
You know what, that is concerning.
I think we should make a request
Because
to change that too.
25,000.
That, thank you
that's
for
just
bringing
saying-
that up. I think that is concerning, cause that is very generous.
It is.
Even though we can say they can tweak it, will they tweak it? And so I think it should change.
I agree.
I think, and I think we should leave it at 25. Do you all think that 25 is fair? Or did you want more or less?
Maybe we come like half it, maybe somewhere in between, maybe 50.
I think
50?
50, because
Okay.
let's just say,
But
they
that's-
would get the full
that's still generous, right?
25,000.
Let me interrupt a little
Yes,
bit.
sir.
That's
Sure.
that's aside from the application, I think. Good, right? That's
So
that's
the-
coming from
So
somewhere
that is
else.
policy.
Policy.
So a policy change would require council action. So we would have to take it back to council in the form of a resolution or ordinance for them to approve that change.
Did they approve this?
Yes.
Did they recommend it?
It was submitted to them. I'm not sure if they reviewed it or discussed it with anybody, but I know it was approved back in January.
Well, I think that, do we need to take action for our next meeting? That we'd like to go ahead and proceed and make a recommendation. So we put it on
Action
the
would-
agenda for the next meeting,
Mhm.
please?
Yeah.
Let's move forward with that. That's a good idea. Thank you for pointing that out.
And I think that, and the reason behind that, I think that helps everybody, right? That helps the city, that helps, you know, the organization that's applying because they have skin in the game there. But, you know, if they're gonna be leaning on taxpayer money, then the skin in the game should be a little bit more, right? And I think that's $100 is a little bit too generous there.
I'm glad you questioned that.
So that's
'cause I
my
thought that
reasoning
was,
behind it.
I thought that was, actually the standard. We're gonna move to page 2?
Wait, I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
a question about that. So how does that work? How long do they actually have to complete these hours? Because I know that funds are distributed quarterly. So how do,
So they have to submit the volunteer hours with the request. So for example, for the first quarter, if they didn't do any volunteer, they
Rolls
cannot
over.
submit a request for a reimbursement until they complete those volunteer hours.
What I'm
So they
gathering
can
is the
match
full
it.
amount rolls over until the end of the year. That was gonna be my
So
next
base-
question for after the
so
discussion,
then
but
they would have to complete the volunteer hours before the first quarter.
Yes.
So they have
that they
October,
can
November,
request.
So they can, yes.
So that they can request it, okay.
They have how
So then
how
they
long do
don't
they have?
just
3 months.
3 months then.
Oof.
But what if they don't turn it in? And-
So that's if somebody gets $25,000,
$1,000.
that's 500 hours. That it?
Well, we're recommending, if we recommend it at
$500.
$50, it'd be $500 and not
Uh-huh.
$250 in 3 months. I mean, it just depends how many volunteers they have.
Unless you extend the time to 6 months.
But they submit their request
Plus
for
3 months,
reimbursement
yeah, 3
quarterly.
months, First quarter.
So,
So-
it-
so in
has that
what-
been the guideline since?
So,
Is-
like we said, the policy's new, so we're barely gonna implement it this coming year. So I know that, they did approve for us to initiate a pilot program, this past July with the Sister Cities Festival. So organizations were invited to participate and start accumulating their hours for next fiscal year so they can get a head start. So they can know more or less how many hours they had to do and how many volunteers they needed and how many events they had to participate. Unfortunately, not most organizations took the initiative to send volunteers, only a couple. So they were given an opportunity to get a head start in accumulating those volunteer hours.
Are these hours gonna be rolled over to the next year?
No, it's only per fiscal year.
It was just this time because
Yes.
it's
Mhm.
Okay, so it's a rollover for the year. It doesn't, so if I miss my first quarter, I lose those hours?
No.
No,
It
it's
rolls
a
over
rollover.
throughout the,
It's just
throughout the
okay,
year, but not to
fiscal
the
year.
next fiscal year.
Okay.
But basically, they would have 3 months to meet those hours to get
Mhm.
any sort of funding.
Well, the way
But
that,
they have
Okay.
time before that. Like right now, the Citrus Cities was in
Yeah.
July, so they could do something in July, and then it would count for this coming fiscal year coming up,
But nobody went.
right?
But nobody
That's
went.
correct, right?
Yeah,
We had a couple organizations
Yeah,
that
a
did
couple.
participate.
Yeah.
a couple.
it
I'm actually
is
really excited
calendar
about this
year, right?
program.
It's a
I-
calendar year.
I think it's gonna be good for the community.
And based on what they were signing up for, they had kind of already identified the events that they were going to be, from what I understood, that they were going to be, putting their financial efforts on, so I guess that would, those events that they were gonna be a part of, doesn't necessarily have to match where they were going to get their volunteer hours from?
So it had to be city-approved events. So we would be, as we get close to the end of the fiscal year and starting the fiscal year, Dara's gonna compose a list of events, approved city events,
Mhm.
and they're gonna get sent out to the organizations.
Mhm.
And then once they get that, they will be able to request that they wanna participate in those events, and that's how we start accumulating their hours.
Okay.
Do you feel that there's enough community city events throughout the year to be able to, because this is a lot of hours you're talking about, right? And to be able to handle this many hours?
So Parks Department does have a lot of events every single month. So we feel that there is enough events to fulfill the hours as
As it is
stated
right
right
now,
now.
right?
Increasing it and making those changes, we wouldn't be able to.
So maybe it's
say.
something we kind of look at, right? And we keep on our radar for, going into the next funding year to see if we need to change it, because I understand now kind of some of the reasoning behind the $100.
Yeah, me too.
Because is there enough hours there?
Me too.
They're not gonna have.
No,
Sure, we
and
can create things for them to do, right?
I mean, that's gonna take them a while.
That's a whole other job right there,
And
but.
then again, if I'm not understanding correctly, the changes you guys are trying to implement are for next
Right,
cycle.
right.
So
Correct.
we would go with the $100 right now,
Right,
starting
right.
October until the next fiscal year that you guys
Correct.
change.
Mm. What do you mean by starting in October? I thought it was
October of
calendar
next
year.
year.
Oh,
Next year.
right, 2026, 27.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Right. So, having said what you said, do you have a list and do you provide them with a list of those qualified or?
So I know Dara was going to initiate communication with Parks Department and the library. That those are the ones that host the most events in the city. And then same thing with the council assistants, because I know that council members do have events throughout the year.
Mm,
So then we were going to compose that list and then send it out to the organizations.
okay. So, they would have to be city events and not events like Relay for Life and this walk for whatever, the March of Dimes. You're actually saying that there would have to be city events?
It has to be city approved
Okay.
events, correct?
Y'all better have a lot of events.
We do.
Parks does have a lot of
Okay.
events.
Absolutely.
Just
do.
in Halloween, we normally have like 4 to 5 different events in one single day.
Having said that,
districts,
I think I
the
wanna
different
rescind my recommendation from 50, and I'm gonna leave it at 100,
I think that's what we're doing.
yeah.
And then kind of see how it goes throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, we get that, we
Uh-huh.
totally understand that. But it was a good try, thank you for the explanation.
Well, hopefully as this goes on and
You'll understand.
we kind of are able to systemize this a little better, where we can utilize more people for more hours out there.
Mhm.
So we can have that in the back of our head.
Anybody have any more questions for me?
No,
Page
it's-
2, we talked about page 2, and,
Okay. I think this is gonna have to get council approval, but I'll bring it up anyway. It says, how many years has the organization received city funds? One of the things that, I think we should consider as a committee is how many years we actually would want for these organizations to receive this type of funding.
I think there's already a cap, it's a 3-year
It's
cap.
a 3-year cap.
But yeah,
Starting this year, it was
Yeah.
3
It's
years.
one year.
but it's 3 years and then they don't apply 1 year and then they get to apply another 3 years. What I'm saying is like actually capping it. It doesn't have to be 3 years, I mean, 4 years, whatever number, right? But what I'm saying is like, I don't know, it's just, is it something that the committee would wanna consider and recommend?
So basically, I did some studies for San Antonio and Corpus Christi, and I picked another area, and they were all 2 years. They were 2 years, so I was wondering, why did we pick 3 years? Why did our council select 3 years? And in fact, I think I even brought one of the applications, I just don't wanna keep everybody here all night, but I don't know if I don't think they were renewable. This is supposed to have been, if I remember correctly, if I'm wrong, this was supposed to help them start off. It wasn't supposed to be as a supporting vessel throughout the years.
Right.
And so, especially to the hotel motel.
Just back to what we were talking about, like empowering these organizations and bringing in those workshops where you teach them grant writing, fundraising, throughout those years that they're receiving fundraising so that eventually they can go off on their own. But I don't know if that's something that we as a committee wanna consider and then make the recommendation.
I would like to do that, but at this point,
Yeah.
I don't know that, I don't know, I mean, I have mixed I would like that very much, but I don't know if we should even go there, but anybody's feedback, please give us your feedback.
I think in the ideal world, that would be a great idea, but right now, I don't know if we have the capacity to do that right now. But
I mean, it's something that obviously would come in later, maybe possibly next year, but I'm just saying, like, if it's something that we want, like, we need to get it started at one point, you know? And just start massaging the
Why don't y'all
idea.
talk to your council members and ask them how they feel about it? And then if they all say yes, then maybe it's something we should bring to the table, if they feel the same way. Okay, going to now page 3, official page 3. I made a copy of the application for Corpus Christi funds, and their online application is 1, 2,
do they allow paper submission? So,
internal application. Are you submitting an external application or an internal application?
What's
considered
considered
internal?
internal?
Well, that's gonna be, I was able to pull only a few things out because I was reading too much and I wasn't able to pull. And it's for district community events, education, and youth senior activities. But, I don't know. And what district are you with? And maybe this is another type of application, but still it was for Corpus Christi funding. Going back to page 3, aid to other agency corporate body resolutions. Did anybody read this and understand how this works? Was this, I don't remember reading a lot of these, were these all completed? They were all completed.
Yeah.
It's really funny because they have everything here, and yet, at the meeting, the organization that was there had no idea what we were talking about. And it kind of just, okay, you're supposed to, but okay. Page 4, can we move on to page 4?
yes, ma'am.
Is that gonna stay the same, and do we need this page, by the way? Page 3. Is there a legal reason why we have this page?
Because they have to have their board has to agree to seek out.
Yes, and which is why we also have the minutes that have to get submitted with the organization. If you want
We
any
talked
changes
about
that you
this.
guys do want to implement, you guys vote on today, we'll go ahead and staff this with legal as well, just to ensure that everything aligns and everything is
I think
done
the
the
concern was
appropriate way.
already addressed before, and it was this, as you stated, that the board members that were submitted to us were no longer there. But that's what I'm saying, what is the value of this page if it really wasn't followed?
Well, I guess that's something that needs to be reinforced or really emphasized at the workshop.
So
That
this
will
page is gonna-
disqualify.
I guess could you always ask legal
3 and
that?
4.
That's just a legal question, I guess, we should
Mhm.
ask legal, do we
We'll
need this
definitely
page?
staff this with legal as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
3 and 4.
Page 4, City of Laredo, A to other agency organization status certification, requirements, agency funding requirements, organization
four,
acting in 2 years is tax exempt. Okay, does anybody have any questions about what they provided?
no, just, I think they're gonna ask about 3 and 4.
Yeah, 3 and 4, they go together, just legal. How do we modify that?
All right, now we're gonna get to the scoring of the narratives, historical, et cetera, page 5 points. And then you have, need to remember we were saying that in the point system, we were just going all over the place. And we were going, are we grading it on the application the way it was completed? Are we grading it on what they've answered? Are we grading it on the needs? And it was all over the place. So here it says, historical narrative points. Help me with this, guys. We felt that there had to be more to this than the historical narrative. There was 5 points is being allotted for the same question that we saw over the partnerships page 7. And that was another 5 points, which by the way, those were not completed. And then you had again other 5 points on the agency budget description and expenditures. And I'm going back and forth because it was 5 points that had us going back and forth. Well, it's not complete, but if you look at the number where we finally can see a number, there's a need, but it's not complete. So where we had to make the decision saying it wasn't complete, we're gonna take points off. Even though that was already stressed at the beginning because that was not applied. How do you wanna change this, the way that this is, the scoring numbers?
So, I think that what we didn't, I wanna say we didn't use the rubrics as it was here, right? Do we wanna do that in the future? Do we wanna, I don't know.
How far back did you all go to the historical narrative? I mean, that to me only applied,
Like, were we
I
scoring
think it was
on the
good
fact
for us
that
to
they had
know
it, or?
about the organization, right? I think I used it to know, okay, to teach me about the organization if I didn't know about it already. I think that's kind of where
My question would be, at what point do you deduct points?
right,
Honestly, I gave the 5 points to all the organizations
Right.
because
If it was
how do
there,
you,
yeah.
how do you
Was there?
quantify that?
you couldn't,
I.
so that's why
Right,
they're,
yes, it's right.
I-
And the same applies to other sections.
Yeah.
If
Exactly.
if it's there,
Might not
you
be
grant
so
it
much, yeah.
full, the full number of points.
so what we're really saying is, truthfully, we need to make something
Did you change the rubrics?
What we need to do, but this is gonna take more time.
Yeah.
We need to make a recommendation, and I think for the next meeting, we can come back with ideas, because it was really not balancing. It was very hard for me. I mean, it says, for example, partnerships, 5 points. Okay, some of them, purpose, benefit to organization, in progress, and development. Was there really value in that question?
I think there's value, but it's how much value, right?
Scoring
Yeah.
value.
What's the value in it? I don't know. I mean, here it says 5 points, but
Program goals and objectives, 40 points. Okay, in this little paragraph, you know that nothing fits, so we had to go to the attachments. Some of them had 100+ pages, some of them had 100+ pages.
yeah.
So I wanted to recommend that we do not accept that many pages. That we put a limit to the pages that they're gonna refer us to. 10 pages should be more than enough, I think, but anybody have another recommendation?
How many pages are on here?
I was, it was unnecessary. We didn't need to get back up. Anybody else have a comment on that?
10 is
The
good.
graph is 10,
I would say cut it to 10, limit 10 pages.
Total for the whole application?
No, not
No,
for
for
the whole
this-
For
application.
the
but
program
it's-
goals and objectives.
Yeah, because it is
Yeah,
worth 40
So
points.
submitted
so-
like 60 pages of program goals and objectives. That's
It
what we're
was-
talking about,
Mhm.
that minimizes.
10's a lot, so still.
Well, I think 10 is a lot, but I'm giving them that, not every,
Yeah.
max is 10.
Mhm.
Max would be 10.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay. Then we go to agency, the following, are we good? We move forward to page 9. Agency budget description and expenditure budget totally incomplete, inconsistent. So, you only have 5 points, so it was incomplete and inconsistent. And because it's only 5 points, it didn't, it was like, wait a minute, this is more important here. It should be more points, not 5 points.
What if we take off the narrative and add it to the budget description?
That's what I was
for-
recommending that we all look at and make those recommendations,
for next
because this is where it really should be.
And also, it's repetitive because if we're getting the 990, that's
Yes.
part of the 990.
And so here, if you give me a blank and you don't respond, you don't put, here we go with the C attachment, 990s, and then you put your totals
Yes.
here, total revenues. To me, it is an incomplete
It's incomplete,
application.
Yeah.
An incorrect application too. So once we went there, I went, whoa, you put here 30,000, you actually have 200,000. And so I felt like, why is this here? If it's not, and help me here with this column, with this page.
Mhm.
You put in City of Laredo, that's easy. Webb County, easy. State, that's easy. Federal, it's
Right.
easy. United Way is easy. Foundation grants, that's not easy. Donations, not easy. Fundraisers, not easy. What does that mean? It takes more than one line. And sure, if they can, they have the access to extend it when they're doing it online, right?
Mhm.
They can actually add on to it, and the page gives you that access to where you can continue to add.
To do multiple fundraisers, multiple that.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. It's
So-
just
It's
the
just a
amount.
standard fillable PDF.
So we're setting them for failure with this.
I
So-
think the 990 is the same. It gives you just the total.
Yes, so put it on.
Yes, which I like.
I mean, unless you guys want us to expand the like the boxes and just do other, and then they can delineate who is that other.
Well, you will need, no, they need guidance. They need the foundation grants and donations, and that's how we were able to identify them as well. Fundraisers, fees and dues. I would say the foundation grants, donations, and fundraisers have their own page. I mean, they really should. And then, and keep the other ones here, I guess. The investment income, and then others, include all other resources awarded and pending receipt, that should go with the other page as well. Because that was, City of Laredo funding as a percentage of the total agency budget, that was also incorrect in some of them, some of
No.
the applications.
Yeah, no.
We took a lot of this into consideration though. This is something we took into
It was
consideration the most
also
of
Points.
almost anything, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
This point system
Yeah.
should change.
right,
Mhm.
it goes back to that,
So we're moving narrative.
Yeah. Quita los puntos al narrative o al historical narrative, no sé. 5 puntos de actividad de 10. Quítale los 5
Well, the-
narrative, I mean, you want to let them write the narrative, a 1-pager, pero no le des puntos.
Just as a requirement
Yeah,
of the
don't
application.
put, excellent.
When
Don't
does
put,
this go
don't
out?
give them points for the narrative, they still have to provide it.
So move it over.
And make 10 points for the
When does this go out again?
budget.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Until next year.
So what month does it get released?
March.
January, February.
Oh,
There's time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then the needs statement, we give them 20 points for the needs statement, which is a paragraph.
Yeah, it's probably-
We should do 10 points, no? I mean, they tell you what they need it for, it's copy and paste. I mean, I'm saying it because I saw that in other areas. Do y'all agree, page 6, 10 points for the needs statement? That gives us a total of 15 points more to add to the budget,
I'm okay with that.
yeah?
What, the needs?
10 points for the needs statement, because that, I mean,
Just a
they-
statement.
It's a
There's
statement,
more
that's all it
weight
is.
on how they run the business
Yes.
versus you telling me
Vamos, yes.
that you need the money.
Mhm.
Plus 10 for the needs.
And then partnerships with other organizations? Can you tell me what that benefit was? I saw repeat it. Can someone show me the other perspective of that?
Which one?
Partnerships, page 7. Is that the collaboration that maybe they wanted to see here?
Yeah,
Yes, to
yes,
see how
definitely.
organizations collaborate with each other.
I don't think we should give them points for that.
I think it's objective though, right? Like, if how effective is a partnership between the organizations? Is it just for a run, or is it for a educational endeavor, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
but as we're reading those, we're giving them points.
Which goes back to our rubrics that you know, I think
We shouldn't give them points, they should just answer that.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like if we're gonna be doing this points, then the points need to match up with some sort of rubrics with, you know,
How-
if they get 90 points, they're gonna get, you know, 90% of what they requested for, or
Well,
X, Y, Z, or whatever, however that
That
works.
was very hard to do, and that's what
Right.
y'all wanted to do, but we were, again, our scoring was divided.
Right,
You know,
But that's what
it was
we say,
incomplete,
yeah.
but they needed it, but we didn't have enough proof, so we couldn't do it like that. And by the way, the council members thanked us on that.
yeah,
They thanked us that we didn't do it like that, because it could have been misleading, we all scored
right, no, yeah, yeah.
differently, very differently because
Yeah.
of that.
Well, but
Before.
we're doing right now,
This is what we're doing.
we should be able to do it that way the
Right,
next
to
time
streamline
around.
it easier.
Yeah.
So then page 9 would be the 20 points instead of the 5, because we already took away other points.
Yeah.
And we agree that pages, foundation grants, donations, and fundraisers would be included in this bracket, but a page on its own. Agency budget description, 5 points. What do y'all think about this one?
Which one, the,
Number 10, page 10?
Agency budget description.
so I think that page 9, page 10, all coincide with the 990, right?
Yeah,
And-
that should be all
they're-
together.
I like how it's presented here.
Yeah.
Just because we're giving them the leeway of them using 1 year prior on the 990, and this is their
That makes sense.
opportunity to show us
That
their
makes sense,
current
that
need.
makes sense,
In addition, we get to see a little trend.
that makes sense, yeah.
You know, what I was able to see with 2022, I said, okay, that's a trend.
Right.
They did good, 2022, so.
But maybe combine the points.
Right.
They? Which one?
Maybe combine the points would be better.
So we already have 20 for the revenue, plus the 5 on the expenditures. Make the whole thing 25.
So partnerships was deleted, correct? The 5 points
Right,
on
the
partnership?
points were, what's our credit right now? We
You'll
have
have
20.
5 more points.
We have 5 more. Do you wanna add 10 points to that one? And add another 5?
To which one?
Because we really need to give 20 points to the monetary, portion of it as far as the distribution and the reflection of the 990, because we didn't have that, 20 or more, 20. But then for the budget description, give them 10 points. Are you all comfortable with 10 points, or is that too much? 10 points, okay, we will do the 10 points. Which is very important, because this is the ones that we saw in the 990 that were not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mentioned.
So budget description is 10 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the board of directors and staff roster, and I really did like that, but there's no point
But
for
there
that.
should be, yeah,
It's just
But it has to be
mandatory.
updated, right?
Hmm?
Yes,
It has to be updated also,
Yeah,
It
right?
has to be updated.
Current, underscore.
Current, right?
Current.
Right.
Added to that.
Form
Current.
990, summary form, organization, EIN. Financial summary, total revenue, total expenses, these were not accurate.
that is,
So Dara worked on
yes.
developing
new?
a form?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay,
Neo,
thank
because
you.
we want to put everything in one
What,
page,
they were, okay.
so that's why
So we don't have to refer to it?
You're talking about page 13?
I mean, they still have to make,
Page
to
13,
include it,
But this is.
but all the information should be on the, on
Okay,
those two
because some of the
pages.
reports that we saw, total revenue, total expenses, somewhere in here, are not matching whatsoever. And what I would like net assets or fund balances, that is end of the year. I would like to see end of the year net assets or fund balances.
That's what she put here. She created this form.
No, I see that, but I don't, on page
Where is she
13,
seeing that? The
I don't
end of the
see
year
that end of the year.
net assets or something.
I would like the opinion from these two. They're the accounting people here. How does that work best for you in accounting terms there when you're looking at
The
things?
end of the year. The end of the
End of
year.
the year is crucial.
As accountants, we read it as the 990, because each agency might have either calendar year or
Right.
for fiscal year.
And that's why, one of the key things that, I do, because I do a lot of reports and I put end of the year. But one of the things that was mentioned for us is carryover balances. They have a limit. And there were a lot of carryover balances that had large numbers, in the millions. So, we just wanted to make sure that we were in compliance also. And I did want for us to ask that, are we in, are we, this committee, in compliance in awarding this as requested, knowing that, correct me here on this one, that 501c3 are carrying balances, the what?
Wait, yeah, they're carrying balance. large
Balances that are
balances.
way beyond the percentage that you should carry over.
I know what, it's been discussed before, from my behalf on the 990 and the financials. I gave additional weigh on points if it was a CPA prepared document versus management prepared. So that's where I scaled the points.
But would they not, okay, so are we clear, even though we know that there is a limit or there is a restriction on what percentage you can carry over for the next year?
What is the percentage?
I don't remember the percentage. I know that we had to clear them.
Because, by nature, nonprofits are not supposed to have balances, large
Period.
balances. Because
Just
your
to-
whole idea is you generate the money and you give it out, So if you see, where's an IRS agent, $1 million in the bank, you're going, what the heck are you doing?
Which we saw.
Which we saw.
And
Just
some.
raises flags.
So that was our question.
Because then you also have to say that some of these organizations do the 990 short form because they didn't make that much revenue. So we need to, I guess, make sure that we accept the form 990, and 990, 990C, and then a short form or long form.
I guess that's where the 5 points on the needs statement can come into play. If you see a large fund balance on there, maybe the need is not there.
It's not there, why are you doing that?
And we saw
How many
that.
points was the needs statement?
5.
Are we leaving it at?
The need
I-
statement, you are reducing
No.
to 10.
Then, oh, sorry, 10. We reduced it to 10, which is fine. I think 10 is fine.
Cause that was, we voted heavily on that,
The other one, because the other one
on needs,
was crucial. Let me. Needs statement is 10, and what we dispersed, that we added to, was the one that needed 15 points more. And that was the budget description and expenditure budget. That was really important. And we were just awarding 5, and that was the details. That was the actual.
but the needs statement was something that we really considered, and when we deducted, we went down from 20 to 10. I mean,
Yeah.
are we okay with that?
I think so, because what I read on the needs statement was not more than, not even a page. The needs statement was really a paragraph. It was a needs statement. It wasn't a breakdown. Some of them,
So we're awarding points on like a paragraph that they're giving
that's what we did
us.
with the needs statement. If you-
Okay.
there were a few that did have a little longer, but it was still, majority did. I think
guess
that
I'm
this will
just-
be,
I'm just trying to, I was
Yeah.
just trying to distinguish,
No,
it's
that's
not
fine.
we're not giving the points. I mean, we're still giving the points, even though it's on the other section, but we're still awarding points on need, even though necessarily it's not on the need statement, right?
but no, because it's worded differently. When you go into the budget and when you go into the expenditures, it's worded as budget and expenditures. And the needs, they're explaining to you why they need that money and the
Yeah.
purpose of their request.
Yeah.
Which that was not even matching when you would see it on the other page. And that I saw that,
Yeah.
and that influenced my decision when I saw it on page 9. The
Yeah.
need statement did not match.
No, and that's what I'm saying, like, even though we did that, we went from 20 to 10 on the need statement, we're still weighing our decision or on our disbursement amount based on need, like heavily.
10 points, you're giving 10 points based on the need. That's what we're doing, 10 points based on the need statement.
But the amount, that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, the amount, yeah.
So basically how we came up with this number is not really correlated to the need.
Of course not. We tried our very best to come close to that, but I totally understand that. Yeah, but
And
that's.
I guess that's also their opportunity to make it make sense to us. Like if we, one example, an organization might be heavy on cash, but in the need statement, that's their opportunity to say, even though we are financially stable, all of that is restricted by our donors. We still need to meet operational needs,
Right.
and this is how we're gonna spend this grant.
Which was in the 990s, the restricted funding.
Mhm.
But here's that's what we had to do our homework to find that out.
And read it, yeah.
And that's what we had to put the difference in. But in the need statement, from what I saw, and some of them help me out here of how you all feel, it wasn't always matching. But because it was complete, because there is a need, even though you didn't put that on the other page,
Right, no, and it's like Mr. Caballero said, it's an opportunity for them to like help us make sense of what they're presenting.
and, yeah, okay. Great questions. Moving along, so we were at page 13, which we love. Just, we're gonna change item number 1. The bottom is year-to-date net assets of fund balance, or end of the year, I'm sorry, end of the year. Do we want end of the year, year-to-date? No, because we're not gonna have year-to-date. Public support test summary from Schedule A if applicable.
I was gonna ask that question. What's the support test?
I don't know
The
that.
public support test?
I don't know.
Purchase somewhere. Is that from the 990?
Yes.
Schedule A,
Schedule
that's
A.
right.
Yeah, it's on there.
990.
What is it?
What is it? Google.
Call it
Yeah.
AI, your chat GTP, whatever.
Is this new as well? Is this new in the application?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's just a question, no points,
I
correct?
think it's more of a.
Correct. So they're basically
qualitative
summarizing the
question.
990 for you guys.
If
I like it.
if you're really a nonprofit versus.
Yeah.
This is an IRS will distinguish between public charities and private foundations.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can
Yeah.
take it off or I can leave it.
I don't think it's needed. Do you all think it's needed?
No, because I think it's also on the 990.
I don't think it's needed.
It's not needed. And then, but you can't put additional notes, if any. Just don't have us refer to your C attachment. Okay, and page 14, application checklist. Not complete, they return it, correct? So we just changed the point system here, corrected to the recommendations once they are approved. Okay, I was gonna now see if we covered the areas that we had mentioned that Cynthia wanted copies of in the last meeting that we had.
Is this where we might want to add that acknowledgement, the last page where it says application checklist? and put the acknowledgement that if the application is incomplete, it will not be considered. I mean, I'm just saying because there's space.
Shouldn't that be,
I think it should be
in
on
the
the
front,
first
in the front
page
page?
before they can like.
Before they can proceed.
So
So,
are you bringing this checklist to the front or you're leaving it in
just
the back?
the,
No.
So when
disclaimer.
they go in and see the application, this is how they see it. So once they go to the first page, which is the second page, I can put it here, so before they even start filling out, they can see it here.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking, but if you recommend something else, I mean, we can. put
No,
it
that makes
somewhere
sense
else.
though. So you can see it
On
the
the
first page.
Okay,
Is that, do you agree with that?
yes, I do. Just for the first page.
Yes.
One of the things that I was just going over the notes that we talked about, and I wanted to see if y'all understand the difference, and if there is a difference, because I think there is. Application attachments should be used as supportive evidence and not as a response. And that is really see the attached. So.
So they should be able to summarize what they wanna say in that, in
Exactly.
that paragraph there.
We want an answer. We don't want that, we don't want that.
So
to
they
be-
can include a line that says for full details,
Yes.
right?
Okay, so that has to be answered.
So you want it, if they don't have enough space on the first page, would it be fine to put it on the back of the page or not attached to the
So-
page?
Example, one of them, they were supposed to support how they were able to do the marketing to qualify for the hotel motel, and what, the marketing avenues that they used, and what was the target market, and I think I read 15 pages. And it could have been very simple, it could have just been saying, you could define the cities if you wanted to, and the total if you wanted to, of I usually would do tracking, so of the response that came from each, or whatever flyers you send out. I send 1,000 flyers to Corpus Christi, 1,500 to San Antonio, but not San Antonio. This organization or advertised on TV, and I had, those of us that do advertising, you go by how many commercials you're gonna have, or how
Yeah,
many
views, you need
PSAs, or
views, yeah, right.
view, and how many views, if you got that, because you should get that report. So they could have added that, even though, trust me, I was reading it and I liked it, but that was what was very time consuming. So if they have that report is really neat, because it tells you at the very bottom, really, that's all we needed. But I had to figure out, it was this TV station and that TV station and that magazine and Texas Monthly and on, which is, they could just have written that there. Are you in agreement? So that's what, we would recommend that. Attachments should be limited to a certain number of pages, we already provided that.
That's for just the general fund, right? We're still gonna go through the other one. Or
No.
we'll do both of them.
To the hotel motel, wow, I think that's gonna be late, what time is it? We'd like to keep the meetings for an hour, but if you all still wanna do some time.
I was just gonna ask, we did bring up that there was no supporting documentation to verify the heads to vets. What kind of documentation would we like from them? Or should we be able to accept, cause then that's actually what I was looking up, as per the mandate. What is it that they can submit and what is it that we want to see?
Which is really very interesting, because the mandate was very clear. I mean, the form that they give us and we read, and the form that they got. But there's several categories under third-party funding. And one of them is your heads and beds, the other one is your marketing. Are you going in, what are you doing to bring people here?
Right.
And who have you affiliated with? The affiliation is what threw me off, because you had WBCA, example, just gonna share that, give an example, who's under the umbrella of the Martha Washington, who's under the umbrella of Pocahontas, who's under the umbrella of Organization D. And they were all piggyback from WBCA. You can't do that. If you're saying that your event brought in these people because you want that money, then you really should provide documentation of the heads and beds.
So we would want like a hotel block Is that the type of?
Well, a hotel block or a pickup, there always should be a hotel block, because then you're just guessing, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm just asking so that we can specify that those are the documents that we want to see, so that we can
Mhm.
consider full funding.
And the names of the hotels.
But I thought there was a tracker.
That's not what they gave us on their responses.
Did you see any?
No, just I know from dealing with CVB, I think that they do.
But the
But I know that
commission,
they do ask.
But
the
they have to add
commission,
it to their application.
when you go to Center for the Arts, for example,
Yeah.
you sign in and it says hotel nights, any hotel nights.
Right. Right.
It doesn't ask what hotel, which it would be great to
I guess
support
every
it.
organization is different, like you're saying, and then they
Yeah.
submit it to.
And they're supposed to have that because they're the ones asking for the funding,
Right.
not the CVB.
Right.
But if you ask for the support of the CVB, they're gonna give you all the support that they can give you with. And you can even piggyback off of the CVB advertising, which some of them
Yeah, you're
did.
right.
But they were calling that expense their expense. No, it's not your expense. It's the CVB's expense. So we have to review that and say, no, just because you advertised with them, you didn't pay for that advertising. However, you did get the exposure. So let me know what was the exposure. And there was no
So
information.
they can request that the hotel information from CVB
No.
and.
They need to do that
They
themselves.
okay, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, from the hotels.
They have to give us, documentation that proves that those heads were brought to beds during those dates
Correct.
of their event.
Correct, from the room block. And they have that. The hotels automatically have that.
Okay, cause
They
I
can
didn't
know.
see any
No.
in any of the
None
applications.
of them did.
Could they use also login sheets?
They should, so what they
I'm sure they do,
for,
right?
they should, but the login to the hotel,
No, the
Organization.
organization. Like part of their signing sheet when they get
when they go
get there.
to the premises,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Center for the Arts, they're asking there, and I saw that there was very little in importance. And it said, hotel stays, hotel nights, it should have asked, are you an out-of-town guest? And if so, are you hotel
Well,
nights?
that's how you say it, or
Right, and instead they only had hotel nights, and one guest was hotel and I wasn't, but it was like, so we just didn't sign it. It should be more specific, but those are the organizations
Right.
that we could recommend to them when we see them. And saying, you've gotta be a little bit more proactive. Hotels will gladly give you their room block out there.
Right.
So you're saying that we can add that to the application?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, because I know that I scored heavily based on that. I didn't see that supporting documentation, and I know that it was talked about, and so that's what I'm saying, like, we need to let them know what specific documentation we wanna see to fully,
If you are
fund their
responsible for
request.
those heads and beds, then you conveyed to them, those people were conveyed that we do have these hotels available and we're getting you a special rate. We encourage for you, we can do a room block here and a room block there, and you get a special rate for attending our event.
I know that, it was mentioned at council that, by one of the organizations that, well, they do their own reservations, perhaps, but the reason I'm bringing this up is so that these organizations could really make the attempt and really put it out there to the organizations that they're inviting. Like, yes, before maybe you did your own reservations, but help us keep this program going by, using our hotels and so that we're able to get
A
credit for that.
proactive organization, especially asking for six-figure funding, would tell you, we have reserved room blocks for this particular event of the following hotels. This hotel is reserving 100 rooms, this hotel is gonna reserve 50 in case there's an overflow, and this hotel is gonna do that. They have to make the initiative. Do not I would not appreciate you getting credit if you didn't make an effort and the parents had to come with the team. I mean, you should have said, been smart and said, Mr. Alice City football team, we'd love to offer the special rate to the parents, could you please give this to the coach, and the coach would run with that. It's very simple.
I agree, but I didn't see any of that.
No, they were
and
not.
Especially when it was brought up at council, I was like.
So that tells me that the initiative is not there, and maybe they didn't know how to do that. So we would like to put that in. as to hotel needs to be identified in room nights. And they give them a code.
What did you say again though? You said that you had said that the parents are the ones that should be, we should base it based off the parents, not necessarily the.
No, no, no. In
Okay,
other
no,
words,
you didn't say that.
there's, let's say that I'm gonna have a tennis tournament.
Right.
And I'm just shooting for tennis.
Okay.
And I've got 30 teams coming in.
Right.
And I am the organizer of the organization. I'm gonna reach out to the hotels and say, I've got 30 teams, how many room blocks can you give me? This is a code for the parents, this is your reservation numbers, and blah, 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 and go on and on. If the parents just come in and they're everywhere else, that is on me.
Right.
Because I could have said, could you reserve an additional 20 rooms for the parents?
Makes sense.
That's on me. I didn't make an effort to bring in more to the city and offer that, because when you do that, then the parents are not going, well, where do we go? Where do we
Right.
stay?
And aside from that, also like really emphasize to the parents, to the teams, to
Push
these
it,
organizations, use our hotel code, because
Mhm.
that's gonna give the organization that credit.
Mhm. And you give them the hotel information and with the phone numbers and all, and then this is a code, and then proceed with that.
And I know how to do it. Hey, can I
Yes.
bring,
Simple.
can you
Right.
reserve 20 rooms for me and
Simple.
throw in 5%
Correct,
discount and.
Or give me a complimentary room for the coach, or
Mhm.
give me a complimentary room for the leader of the conference. It's very simple, and if you've been doing that for years, you should
Yeah,
know
you
that.
have it.
So it's a lack of initiative. So now, this is, we got to give value to the funding that is being distributed. You've got to support it. Okay, because it's our guests that pay for that money, not the taxpayers for the hotel motel. Anything else in the hotel motel application that you would like to, review? Renee?
That was a big deal, I think.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
That was all.
So you guys are requesting for them to include a report
Of how many rooms.
of how many room blocks
Identify hotel?
with the hotel name, and do you, it's a requirement for it to be something from the hotel, where you guys are just gonna leave it up to them to submit whatever they can produce?
What do you mean?
Like, cause sometimes the hotels can give you, these are all their reservations that were through the link or through these codes or
As
something.
long as they have some sort of official.
Hotel document.
Yeah.
Official
Documentation, right?
hotel
We
documentation,
need a
not,
hotel document, yeah.
not their numbers.
That's what he's asking. Yeah, hotel document.
And just for the point basis to match the general funding.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
And I think that we would attach, that documentation should be part of one of the one of the pages that includes points.
Do you wanna, cause you know how we catered a whole lot to the revenue and expenditure budget on the other one? Do you wanna take off maybe 5 points and have it separate just for that?
For the supporting, I would.
For the hotel motel?
Or make that supporting documentation part of the biggest, or the section with the most points, because really that weighs a lot on our.
I'd have to go over the budget again.
Yeah.
To the,
To the needs statement.
to the needs statement, there's only 10 points. But, it's the one that, we're gonna apply the same point system. It's gonna.
Right.
So which one
right?
had the most?
Yes.
There's the one that we had stated, which is the one with the agency budget agency budget description, yeah. And points, that one is not,
What section had the most points in the?
and ours was 13.
Or do you wanna link it to part 12, list of activities or events, and ask for the support in that section? You're already
Yeah.
giving me a list of the events
And I'll give you the support.
and give me the support for it.
But it's only 15 points. That's what I'm saying, like, I would add it to whatever section has the most points, awards the most points, because
This
really,
is-
like, that is the reason that they're even eligible to
For the hotel
apply for
motel, yeah,
these.
you're right.
for this
But
funding.
here, if you remember correctly, and we talked about this earlier for volunteers, list of activities or events related to the funding request.
Exactly.
That would go here on page 12. But we only have 15 points, maybe add another 5 points
That's what I'm saying.
and make it 20.
details on it.
I would take off for the application specifically for the hotel motel funding. I would wherever you all wanna take points off and bring it to wherever that supporting documentation, whether it's page 12 or any other section, make it weigh heavily because again, that's the reason that they're even eligible to apply for this funding.
Did you all mention to mimic the points, the scoring criteria in general fund to hotel motel? By doing that, you would be removing the point from historical narrative that gives you 5 points.
Right.
Needs statement will give you additional 10 points, so you have 15 points to add to wherever category you guys want to.
Well,
So
and we
then
just
page
did,
12.
So you want to increase it to 30?
we wanted to transfer what we had from the general to the hotel motel, and we were at 100.
But it's different, it's a
Okay.
little different.
It's
But-
Just a little
It's a
bit.
little
Yeah,
different.
just a little different. So what we were talking about was on 12, page 12,
Bring those 15
bring that to
points.
20 unless we had some other points to play with.
You have
Yeah.
15 points. in
Yeah,
total.
Additional
15.
points?
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what
I
you're
would
saying
say,
right now.
You're good to get
yeah,
better.
so page 12, make it 30 points. That's what we have, right?
You guys have 15.
I would make that 30 points. It would
Because it's not
count.
all, that is not all that is used to qualify. It can be marketing. It can be, do you have the definition of the qualifying for the hotel? I took it out because I don't want to carry any more things. For the third-party funding, it can be,
It's part of the application as well.
okay.
Page, yeah.
Page where do you have it? What page, what?
Page 2.
There you go. Registration of convention delivers advertising, solicitation, and promotions. Promotions of the arts and directly promote tourism. Historical restoration and preservation activities, sporting event expenses that increase economic activity at the hotels. So if you see that, there is an area where promotion of the art that directly promote tourism and hotel and convention industry, that's really marketing. And that would be item number 4. And then the other one, advertising, number 3 and 4. But I think, I don't know, I would say 25 points is what I would feel comfortable with.
we have 15 points.
Right, so if you were to add
10?
10, then it would be
Page 12,
25, and then add 10 to the other page that I was looking at, which was the, page 12.
Oh, no, I was saying to add it to page 12. I was saying to add all the 15 points to page 12.
Right, and I'm saying add my recommendation, I think that's too many. I feel comfortable with the score being at 25, and we still have 5 left, and I would add that to the,
Revenue and expenditure, maybe?
to the what?
Revenue and expenditure?
I would like, yeah, I was gonna say, I
Well, what page is that? Revenue and expenditure?
13 and 14.
Yeah,
I would like to see, we
I would
take
say
away
that.
from the goals and objectives and give it to the revenue expense. I think revenue is also important, because they've got to show you all the
Yeah.
expenditures.
so they're showing us, oh yeah, that's right. Well, I thought we were automatically transitioning that. We already increased that to 10 points.
It's there.
Because we were supposed to transition what we had in the general fund to the budget description, and that was already at 10. Am I not correct on that?
13, 14? Yeah, it's already at
13 at 10. So we have 5 more left, so it would be 15.
Yes. So it'd be 15. Or
So
page
that would,
13,
I would
14.
think that would be comfortable. 25 and on 12 and 15 on 13.
Do you wanna take off 10 points from page 15?
Yeah.
We transitioned whatever we have with the hotel.
That one doesn't correlate.
Because they're a little bit different.
Okay, which one are we gonna adjust in?
Page
I'd say
15,
page 15, take away from the goals and
Oh,
objectives.
yeah.
we drop it to 10,
Yeah.
and then
So
those
it's
10
at
get added to page 13 and
Mhm.
14 to make it 25 and 25.
Yes.
25 and 25.
I
Didn't you just say that?
It was
Oh,
your
yeah.
idea.
I thought it was already added.
No.
It had not been added.
25 and 25.
Okay, and where was that gonna go from? You said page
From page
15.
15.
And that's gonna be how many points? 5?
Yeah.
Okay, what's gonna happen, sorry, I'm just really, what's gonna happen if we have an organization that submits everything for the exception of the supporting documentation, like the hotel block? Are we,
Incomplete
It's considered incomplete,
Yeah, it's not.
because that's what they're claiming it on.
no, well, it's cause we haven't put that anywhere, have we?
It's mandatory to complete it in all the pages.
It's just one of those things that they didn't submit, we still.
Yeah, if it gives you points, it means it's required.
Right.
Okay, so it'll be considered incomplete, okay.
Did you hear that question, Dana? Okay.
Cause it's the same thing, we have a checkbox at the end, as well.
So hotel block. Okay.
You know what would be good to put there, Gaira, if I may? It was mentioned that we can put incomplete applications will not be accepted, correct? We can put that in the last page as well.
Okay.
The first and last?
Mhm.
That's
Why
what
not?
I said.
No, but you were saying last page, and we were saying no, first page.
Or on both.
Well, why don't we do both?
Okay.
Let's do both.
Yes.
All right, are we done?
I think
Great
we're good.
teamwork.
I think we are.
What's our,
Yeah.
our plan for the next meeting?
All right,
The-
accomplished. We
By when do
accomplished.
we have to submit,
weeks?
items for the agenda?
2 more weeks?
Carla?
So it has
I
to
know
be
that on the
2 weeks
19th we're
prior
gonna
to the
meet
date
again, and I wanted to go over
Of the meeting.
Oh, okay.
So when are we having our next meeting? 'Cause
So what I was gonna-
we have to submit items for the agenda 2 weeks before the next meeting.
Which is the 19th?
When do you want the next meeting?
Oh, our meeting, no,
Yeah.
but when are they meeting again, because I have to submit the report to them.
Or like to council
Next
Uh-huh.
council
for
meeting.
budget?
The next council meeting is on
No, I'm
Monday.
not doing it.
August
No,
fourth.
they
Budget.
told me that my deadline was the 19th. Is there such a thing?
There is another council meeting on the 18th.
18th.
But the,
Not a budget.
so 2 weeks from now would be.
Oh, the budget workshop on the 14th and 15th.
That's our budget workshop.
The cities.
Theirs,
the
cities.
Theirs, correct.
That's our
When?
final decision.
2 weeks from
Correct.
now is what? The 11th?
14th.
2
So,
weeks from now, say that.
So technically, end of week.
But we're gonna present what, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
lost.
no.
We're gonna be there too.
So, no, my question
100%.
was, like, for instance, this time, we had items that we wanted to discuss on, but they're not on the agenda, so we can't really make, take action on them. So my question was, how far in advance would any of us need to submit an item to Dyra so that it's added to the agenda? And so she told me 2 weeks before we actually have the meeting. So if we want
Not our
to-
agenda.
our
yes,
agenda.
No.
No, you're talking about the
Committee.
city
No,
agenda.
No, we're
our
talking about
committee.
the
is-
committee.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
2
I
weeks
don't
prior
think
to.
so.
That's
So-
what I'm saying.
No, guys, we're another committee, so we submit that the same week.
So the thing is that there are some changes coming in because of TOMA. TOMA did change a little bit and they are implementing something starting September 1st. So the city's adopting that with all committees.
Effective when?
September 1st, but the city's rolling it out before.
There's no way we don't have that time frame, and I think we cooperated to meet the deadline at the very last minute, because I wish that they would apply that also to the committee in the scoring, but, unfortunately, we're gonna ask, there's no way that we can do that and meet before, because the council meeting is on the 14th, correct?
18th.
Wait,
No.
if budget.
Budget.
So
Budget.
the budget workshops on the
Yes.
13th,
Right,
14th,
but we have
15th.
to, so here's what I was doing, explanation of the organizations of the variance on the scoring. That's what we were doing. We scored this because blah, 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 and only to the ones that we felt that were questioned and of concern. Are you in agreement? So I wanted us to discuss that before, and that's what they wanted us
Wait,
for.
if we schedule the next meeting for the 11th, it's still timed so that we can give that.
That's not 2 weeks, is it?
Yes, in 2 weeks, it would be August 11th, and the budget workshop would be on 14th, so we have time.
And we're in the deadline that you all have now left for the,
Do you all wanna vote on the changes you guys?
yeah, I think we should do
Let's-
that
Let's
first.
do that first.
Okay, who would like to make a motion for us to move forward with the changes that we
I
recommended
make
for
a
both
motion.
applications
I make a motion to move forward with the changes made on the application.
for the third-party funding and for the, hotel motel and the general fund.
Let's just switch to.
So do we have a second?
Oh. Okay, I'll second that one.
Okay.
Ms. Bucks.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
No. we
You
don't
ended our
adjourn.
meeting? Okay, so basically, we were talking about our next meeting. Okay, I mean, does everybody have time for?
Are we doing the vote again?
No?
There was,
No,
there was,
we-
there was,
we-
okay, yes.
Huh?
So next
Oh,
week,
what's that?
August 11th,
Is everybody available August 11th?
there will be a Monday.
Sure, I can make myself available. August 11th. And Dara, you can send a calendar invite, right?
Yes.
Because the budget meeting is on the 14th and they invited us to go. Council members had invited us to go.
Okay.
To go to the budget hearings.
What time's the budget one?
What time is that budget meeting
They
on the
haven't set a
14th?
time.
They normally do start at noon, because they do run a little longer.
Okay.
Normally, but they haven't
How
been
long do they
advertised just yet.
last?
I'm sorry?
How long do they last?
Like all day.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
They're, okay, so we need to be realistic.
I'm out of town on the 14th.
We, how many of you can afford to be there all day?
I'm out of town. I'll get back to about 6.
I will tell you this, sometimes they do move up when they see you. I'm just saying. So
Let's
sometimes
talk
that
to our
happens,
council
but that's
members.
nice.
So let's find
Yeah.
out if they really need us there. I mean, we've
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
Let's
expressed our
talk to our
views.
council members and ask them,
Their
do you really want us there?
recommendations.
Yeah.
Why do we have to?
Yeah,
And then that report I'll send to everybody first,
Yeah.
so you can be informed if you wanna make any changes.
yeah.
I think that's what we're gonna do.
I can certainly
Okay.
figure
So
out
we're
what you
gonna
can
meet
do.
August 11th still.
Yeah,
Okay.
so any items can be submitted to Dara before.
Okay.
the-
So our
And-
next meeting is August 11th.
August 11th.
And basically what we want to, just so you'll know that we wanna add would be requesting quarterly applicants' balance updates. Copies of receipts to let us know how it works and how, what they look like and how it works. And then the account balances year to date, so.
And if anybody else has any other items.
Any other thing that you would like to add? Any other item that you'd like to
We
add?
have the
Shoot it
two
at
ones.
us, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have passed our 1 hour time, but I wanna thank you again. And, this meeting is now adjourned, so we don't have to vote.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Motion to
time.
adjourn. Motion to adjourn. 7:41.
I know you had an appointment.
That's okay.